Hooray.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, how are you feeling about the show? That's what I want to know. First thoughts.
I think that the elevation is a little bit better. I don't know. I think everything's a learning experience.
Yeah, I agree. So, generally though, like, did you have a lot of fun?
It was definitely cool to see like a lot of old friends, and it was definitely worth the trip out here for sure.
Good to hear. Yeah, what did you think, Grant?
I mean, I'm not used to, this is my first time in LA. Like, I've been in NorCal, and it's like, like basically Oregon. I've never been like actually in California. So I think like different crowd, like definitely a different vibe than Denver. Denver's a lot more like mellow. There's not like quite as much going on. So, I mean, we usually like it at a club of that size. Like normally it won't fill up. Normally it's that small for a reason, and it's because nobody comes there.
Yeah. Well, I was like, when I first showed up, right before you guys, a little bit before you guys went on, I was like, wow, people were like kind of coming in slowly, but when you guys started playing and like through your whole set, it got pretty packed. So that was cool. Yeah. Because it's it's never fun to play to 15 people. It's hard to get into it.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
Depends how inebriated you are.
That's true.
It's hard to get the adrenaline going.
Were you?
No, I can't do that. I personally can't do that shit. Like, not sober. I mean, even like playing like death metal and stuff like that. I try and go in that like as sharp, and then right after I'll get as sloppy as I possibly can.
Yeah, because it's death metal, right? It's so many notes.
I guess. Yeah. I mean,
Nobody
like
cares.
even with this, it's like I just I don't know. It's not that I'm like. It's not that other people don't take it seriously, but that's just my way of taking it seriously. Is like I don't like to do that before.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I fucked with that a little bit for a couple of years. I'm like, no, I can't do it. Like maybe I would have like a couple shots before, but not anymore.
Yeah. I mean, like I'll have like a beer or something, like, but I won't get blasted. Like it's kind of different with this because even though it's like less notes, I'm not playing at 300 BPM. Because of that, I feel like everything counts a little more. And if I miss a note, like it is noticeable. It's not like, it's not like when someone's doing a gravity blast and you're playing a sweep or some shit like that. And like you miss a note and nobody fucking hears it because it's so distorted and like so fast.
Exactly. Like with this kind of music you guys are doing, it's very exposed and open. So
Exactly.
It's like every little note is heard and matters, especially like the power chords and stuff, because it's moderate tempos and it's not like you're playing crazy 16th notes everywhere.
No,
So,
it's all about the
like,
starts and the stops.
It's not Nile.
yeah. Like Life Amnesia, that catchy riff, that hook riff. I mean, it's got to be locked in. It's
Exactly.
like, but yeah, it sounded great though. Like, because I was excited to hear the new record, like
Front to back.
front to back, yeah. And I like what you guys did with the stage presence too. What's going on there, Sean? Is that like planned out, or you just do whatever you want?
Laying on the ground.
Yeah. Or like the way you like do like this, you turn away from the crowd and like do a thing, and then you turn to the crowd and then you fall and scream on the floor. I like it. It's
like,
eccentric. It's cool.
Yeah,
But it's like the way you do it though is there's a vibe to it. I like it.
it's definitely trying to make some new romances. I don't know. I'm sorry.
But generally, you guys are stoked about the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. And it's just, the crazy thing about like all this stuff, like, leading up ahead of time, because, we shot our video before the Sente, is that like these things, like you plan for months on something, and then it's just like over and done with as quick as you think it up. It's,
Right. It's hard to, because things are going so fast, and it's like you want to live in the present to take it all in, but it goes by so fucking fast. Like by the time you realize what happened, it's done. you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're sitting
totally.
there trying to absorb it, you know?
This is
Yeah.
Wow,
crazy.
did that just happen? Like,
It's been like 3 months for sitting here getting all stoked about it, and then like we do it all in one day, and I was like, "That's it?
Yeah. Pretty
Okay,
much.
all right,
so the shoot went really well.
absolutely."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty
killer.
stoked. Pretty stoked. Industrialism films. Totally sick.
Where was the location?
Downtown-ish, I think.
Did you set up all the you got some like chains hanging and cool stuff like that? Was
Yeah.
that all your idea? Like Vincente was like, "Hey, let's do this," or
The chain and all that stuff was my idea. I was kind of trying to go off like a Hellraiser type thing,
Mhm.
just to have it be as cold as possible. And
So cold.
so cold.
So cold.
So cold.
So you have the band performance scenes, and then do you also have some cutaway storyline stuff?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
some story stuff with an awesome actress named Leslie, who she just totally killed it, and I think that if the song choice is a little bit longer, I would have wanted more story stuff in there, but I think that for given the time of how we planned it out, that for what it is, it's satisfying enough.
Nice. Yeah. So what made you choose Analog Flesh for the video?
The concept of like kind of creating this like kind of like cyberpunk idea of having, you know, like this association with like, you know, chains and like running flesh and you know, just like horror movie type shit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so it just kind of seemed like it made sense, and like some of the lyrical references that are in Analog Flesh in comparison to what you'll see on screen, they just kind of felt like they were married together, and so, but I mean, like, it seemed like it was like just like a total good pairing, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad you chose that one. I mean, it was either between Life Amnesia or Analog, because those are the obviously the singles.
Those are the jammers.
So, yeah, those are the jammers. Yeah. So was it your first music video, or you've done other music videos?
I mean,
Like
I've
your
done
other
like
bands?
really, really ghetto ass,
Yeah.
like brutal death metal videos that will like go shoot them in someone's basement and like just be drinking and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like with a bunch of Halloween props or something like that. But nothing like on this scale. Like I've never, done anything this professional, and it's very refreshing, honestly, to be around that vibe of, people who are taking this very seriously, and it's everything's planned out and organized very well.
Mm-hmm. And Sean, was it your first music video?
Yeah, actually.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, because all the stuff with myself being in Dawn of Ashes before, I was never in any of that stuff. So first time of like a single project, like figuring all that out to do that by myself. But having the company was nice, and it's definitely like a surreal moment when like you spend so much time imagining like what shooting a video, or like what doing all that stuff is like, and then it just kind of happens so quickly that it seems a lot more difficult than it actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, did you have like a 10-hour day or 12-hour day, or what was it? What was the shoot?
A little bit under there, yeah.
That's pretty quick though. That's to get the whole video done. That's a pretty good, pretty short day.
Yeah.
Nice. So the new record in about a month.
July 28th.
So you have a couple more shows lined up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
In August and October, but by October the album will already be out. But it's with Cyclone 9 on August 29th, and then with Hosiko on October 20th.
Nice.
Hosiko, who is traveling a long way.
Very long way.
We were originally supposed to do that a couple months ago, but they had some difficulty getting in the country, but now it's all been sorted out and rescheduled.
Was it like a visa issue or something, or what?
Yeah, just like border control policies, or something about like them being required to have workers permits or something like that. Something, some red tape.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was resolved with pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It was fixed. Yeah. pretty fast. I like how we're all wearing sunglasses right now.
It was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty
I
goth.
feel like it hit me.
So how was the what was your process for writing Wound Garden? Did you just over like how long were you writing that? It was like quite a couple years, right?
2 years, and it was supposed to be a little bit longer, but I wanted to reduce it down to like, remember like what we were talking about before, like with like the EP format, kind of like how rap is like kind of kicking ass with that like short, short and quick and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
And so originally it was supposed to be about 13 songs, but it just the more and more as it kept going on, like I just wanted it more and more narrowed down.
13 songs, wow.
Originally, but
yeah.
like I wanted like the strongest cuts,
yeah,
to be just one at a time. And then originally it was supposed to have a different title, but I changed the name after my best. I changed the name after one of my best friends committed suicide, and it was just I don't want to like waste time bringing that up, but like just like that was like a title that just got kind of like flew to me like after the fact, and so it just all started like kind of pulling itself together with like this totally different image that I wasn't like originally envisioning at first, but then like with all that stuff coming together, it seemed like it seemed more organic and raw and more like it made more sense, and so
yeah.
I'm more happy with the final product, even though I wanted it to be a little longer and a little different, but.
And you did the artwork as well?
Yeah. No, the artwork was done by a really awesome artist from Denver, Colorado, named Megan Delby. She kind of like took the stuff that we threw across to her and made it way more disgusting and cool.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, it looks great. So you got shows coming up, got the new record. Are you gonna try and get on a tour at some point, maybe like the end of the year or next year? Is that in the works, or are you just trying to see what comes after these shows?
Sometime this fall after release.
Nice.
Trying to do one thing ahead of itself.
Yeah. It's definitely in the works, though.
Yes, for sure.
So where are the other gentlemen this evening?
They have departed back to Denver.
Oh, really? Yeah, they're already. When are you guys leaving?
Tomorrow.
Okay. So
staying for one extra evening.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited for the release because I think it sounds killer. Like the work you guys did is fucking. Your songwriting has just exploded, like compared to the last record. I think the last record is fucking sick too, but like these songs are fucking catchy, man. Like,
it's a lot more of a genre crossover, kind of. Because the original idea is like I kind of wanted to like because before with that stuff I was like with my first album Decollect, I was more into, at the time I was like super into like rock or like like goth rock and stuff, and then this time around, since it had been a couple of years, I was trying to find that balance to blend like more black metal and like harsher industrial together.
Yeah.
And then the out product was whatever came out of it.
And then who did the remixes again?
Chris and Lisa from Zentrifuge, John Stansel from Seraphim System, and Jamie Blacker from ESA from England, or Electronic Substance Abuse.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So have you sat down? Obviously, I'm sure you have, but did you sit down and listen to the record in its entirety, like with the remixes? Like, do you feel that it flows like how you wanted it to?
Mostly. Yeah. I think that like when you're left in creative control of something, you always like you have a tendency to like to want things to go on for longer, and you want to it's just kind of like one of those things like where like you keep repeating yourself until you're finally satisfied.
Did you do any recording on it, or was you did the guitars?
Yeah, whatever you didn't do on the album, I ended up doing. So I guess
it was one of those things where it was like it was written after the fact from when we met each other,
right?
And it was just kind of like it presented itself that we should have at the time that we should have redone it. And so,
Gotcha.
but it panned out super killer because it just like, you know, we had met outside of the fact, just like, you know, at a club, and I, you know, just like hanging out, like doing shit completely separate than even talking about music. And it was just kind of like, well, fuck, like we should do music together. Like this seems like, you know, it'd make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of like the you know, the white to each other's black, with like, you know, like keeping that creative process circulating, and you know, when one's out of ideas, the other kind of has all the answers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you guys all stage presence. It's really, you guys work together really well. Like the dynamic is pretty awesome. Yeah, I think makes your drummers fucking great too. Like
Yeah.
really fucking solid.
He I have to give him props because he's a lot more heavily influenced with like death metal scene, you know, because he recorded drums for Legion and for Veil of Noth, and you know, just comes from a lot more, you know, difficult work background, you know, for us to be like, hey, like, you know, let's make some spooky songs. Like it's, you know, way overqualified, I would say, in like a super loving way, like super on point and super talented.
Yeah, I mean he just really holds down the rhythm, and it's like I've played with drummers before that have a technical death metal background, and then they try to play like more just solid rock beats, and it's not that they can't do it, they just want to busy things up too much. Right. And like he just fucking plays the parts how they're supposed to be played, like really fucking solid. I dig that.
Like a drum machine.
Yeah.
Even then, he still adds the complexity of something that would normally come off as very like, you know, I guess somber and not complex. You know, all the cymbal work and whatnot. It's not like he's like gravity blasting or something like that, but
yeah,
it's all the small details.
It's just little things that just, you know, it sounds nice when put with that.
How do you pronounce the name of your death metal band?
Djinn-Ghul.
Djinn-Ghul. Okay, I was curious.
Pretty nerdy, huh?
Well, I was like,
Slam.
Yeah, I was, because you sent me the CD and I listened to it, and I was like, this is sick, but I was like, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I do, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's usually like, I'll get like Facebooked that question very often.
Yeah.
Like someone will buy the CD and then ask me how to pronounce the band.
So how is that going? Is that like a studio project? Or are you playing live with that? Or
it's a studio project. It's me and one of my friends in Venezuela. It's just us two. He does the engineering and vocals, and I just handle all the composition, instrumental work, and like the synths and all that stuff. So I mean, that's kind of like on hold right now, just because life has been throwing me things left and right. Like I'm trying to finish college right now and like doing this and working. So
what are you studying?
I'm a communications major at CU Denver.
Nice.
Like trying to get into some kind of marketing or something, like preferably in media. I know it sounds incredibly boring, but that's just I love how boring it is.
Hey man, I mean, sounds like you know, you can make a lot more money doing that than music, that's for sure.
For sure.
Well, I'd like for them to go hand in hand, honestly.
Yeah,
like you know, I can use the skills that I'm acquiring through that, and you know, just other things in what we're doing right now. So, you know, every little bit of this like that I'm doing kind of plays into what I want to do. Like, you know, my end. So hopefully my ends justify the means. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I want to actually like have the stuff that I learned be applicable in my life, and you know, it has been so far. Like I'm able to put it in like with my music and with that kind of aspect. So that's all I care about.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you feel like your guitar playing and your technique from the death metal has helped you like be creative with this style as well? Like, do you feel it's helping with that, or is you keep it separate? Or
yeah, no, I think it definitely is. You know, it's a nice different thing, because I'm so used to like the last 10 years I've been playing like just death metal, and it's a nice breath of fresh air to actually play something that I like really enjoy, that's not like super fast and like everyone in the band sounds like some kind of like clogged sink or something like that. It's nice like having something that's like I really enjoy listening to, and it's like also, you know, a little easier to listen to. Like I don't jump in the car and like it'll start blasting and I like turn it off because I'm all frantic or something. It's like I can actually roll with it, and it's a little easier on me, I guess.
Yeah.
I have a little more room for creativity.
So what's inspiring you guys right now musically? Like, what are you guys listening to?
I've been jamming like Mick Gordon's Doom soundtrack since that
Oh,
came out.
That's a great.
It's phenomenal,
soundtrack.
and I'm like, it's not getting old.
Yeah, that's such a heavy soundtrack.
It's ridiculous.
You heard that, right, Sean?
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
good.
Nine strings. I was trying to come up with a cool answer, but honestly, I've just been listening to a bunch of fucking 80s music.
Man, I'm so glad you told me to listen to Drab Majesty, because I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And then I listened to it, I was like, I love it.
It's fucking, it's dark, but it's slow and it's comfortable and all that kind of similar stuff. Fucking
Gives me the feels, dude.
fuck
And
yeah.
it's like, and the production is like you said, you described it kind of lo-fi, and I hear that, but it's still like it has that lo-fi sound, but it's still like, I don't know, it's like a mixture of, it's like half lo-fi, but half it has,
Tastefully
has this,
lo-fi.
Yeah, it's like it's still produced really well and it's polished, but they're purposely like kind of darkening it, and I like that. I like that a lot. So thank you
that kind of shit is like, I mean, it's popular here in LA too, but it's really like a hot topic in Denver.
Is it?
Just like that type of stuff, and like lo-fi black metal and that type of shit. Like Colorado has such a fantastic both metal scene and like a goth and cold wave scene where like there's just so much shit that like you're finding out about and like coming out from like every angle. But it's like it's cool in that it's like uniquely isolated a little bit, where like you'll have no idea that some of your favorite shit that you've just found out about has been living down a couple of miles away from you from the whole time that you've lived in Denver.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like I'm still constantly finding out about rad music that is that's just blowing up in Denver, or either from there or just it's definitely an awesome spot for sure, because from what I've noticed in like all the different cities that I have been to in my life, there's always like there's more like recognizable stuff from larger cities than Denver. Mm-hmm. And then like all the cool stuff just like like lives in the basement. Well, if you will.
What do you guys do? What do you guys do in Denver, like on the weekend? What do you do?
Play
what do
video
people do
games.
in Denver?
Yeah, what do you do?
Play video games.
Play video games?
Smoke
weed and go outside.
Do you do any hunting?
I'd go shooting,
Yeah.
go to the range and stuff. I'm like a big firearm enthusiast. I don't necessarily hunt, but that's just like one of my hobbies.
I've never hunted before, but I would try it. I would try it if given the opportunity, but I mean, I probably shouldn't say that because I'm upset.
I would fucking love to go hunting. It'd be badass.
I mean, you ever watch the Joe Rogan Experience?
Of course.
He talks about like how the big game hunting is more honorable than the firearm hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather do it the harder way than like the easier way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like the jury's out on that one. If people are still totally annihilated, upset about something like that. But,
yeah, but man, like he posts pictures of the elk that he cooks and shit. It looks so fucking good.
I think as long as you're like eating it, it's not going to waste. You're not killing it to put it on your fireplace. I think that's it makes a little more sense.
As long as it's for survival, then I agree. But if you're just when it's either you can fucking stab an elk in the heart, or you can walk around the corner to King Soopers or like Vaughn's to like buy some, then
I don't know. I mean, like it has like its pros and cons, like everything else does. But I don't know. It's that's something I've always kind of thought about. I don't know. Big game hunting, like never really put a whole lot of thought into it. I don't know. I'd kill a bird on a dime. I fucking hate birds, so I don't know. Like a pheasant, like I wouldn't care.
Don't listen to this, Peter.
So, anything you guys want to plug before we wrap it up?
Detonation Fest.
Oh,
Reverend
yes, definitely. Anybody who listens to this, definitely check out Detonation Fest in Arizona. It's like similar thing to Wasteland Weekend, but just like we had no idea that like the Wastelander culture it's so turned up. It's so fucking crazy. And so Detonation is once every summer over Memorial Weekend, and if you're like a fan of Mad Max or living out of a tank or something like that, you should definitely
Living out of a tank.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
It was, I mean, like, you know, because like you're always used, you know, as a musician to like, you know, showing up to like a bar or a fucking, you know, like a theater or something like that. Like it's a very familiar landscape. And with us, like, you know, we were walking into that expecting that type of, you know, that type of atmosphere. But like instead it's like all these kids like decked out in military weapons and like just crazy shit that like we weren't even expecting. Like whilst like right when our set got started, there was a car on fire. Like, It was just crazy. Just
perfect.
But like we're in the middle of nowhere, like just covered in sand. Like it was awesome.
People like Molotoving shit just because they were, you know, everyone was like supposed to do that. That's like, I think that's pretty great. Fire
yeah.
cannons.
That shit would
and
have
stuff.
amped me up. Did it amp you up?
Amp me the fuck up, that's for sure.
Well, it was crazy because kids were standing back a little bit because it was raining ashes.
Yeah.
So like the air just smelled like diesel and like gasoline, just like all, and like, oh man, it was nuts.
Did it like fuck you up as you're trying to sing?
Not really, but it just stunk. But
Yeah.
but at the same time, that's kind of one of those experiences that like, you know, you would want to try out at least once in your life,
Hell yeah.
even if it's like pretend, just being like, well, what would the end of the world look like?
Yeah.
You know.
Did you get you got video footage of that?
Oh,
Yeah, you can find it on our Instagram. It's cool.
Sick. But didn't you? Oh, you said, did you get the whole set like filmed? Or
No, just little pieces of it.
Oh, okay.
That's the one and only time I'm ever gonna play Rituals that show in a cowboy hat, though.
Yeah.
And then with you,
I was
with your RPG and your, like, it sounds unbelievable that like this dude's like he's straight up like holding a rocket launcher and like this like Bane type mask, and I'm over here dressed with like in a cowboy hat, looking like I don't even know, like
you killed Al Jurgensen or something like that.
something along those lines.
Fantastic.
It was pretty wicked. It was a little different though. It was just us.
Yeah, that was one and only time that we performed as a 2-piece to do some more old school electro stuff. Because we had some travel restrictions with our other two, so it was kind of one of those things where we're trying to figure out, like, it's like a do or die type thing that we didn't want to miss. And fortunately with industrial music, or whatever you want to call it, like, it's easier to pull that type of stuff off. You know, you're not as reliant on a full band of organic musicians, you know, because you can kind of resort to the more, you know, synths and drum machines and
Exactly.
stuff like that, which is totally okay in my eyes. Like,
So you just had like a really heavy like drum and synth backing track, or did you play synths and sing, or?
I played synth and sang, and then we used like sampler and
Yeah.
and, you know, some other trickery like that.
So new record, July 28th.
July 28th, Wound Garden.
And what were the 2 shows again coming up?
Cyclone 9 on August 29th and Hostiko on October 20th.
Fuck yeah, guys. Ritual Aesthetic.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, Alex.
Appreciate it.